my mind. Well, you'll be finding out tonight. Give me a bite. Good die good, but I ain't that young. Good die young, but I ain't that young. Good die good, but I ain't that young. Good die young, but I ain't that man who turns and runs. You wanna take this outside this fight with no gun, no knife, let's fucking go. Well, I'm a dangerous man, you better watch out. You spring the dog and let up their wings when you should run. Woo! It's time for fight or flight, yeah. Release the house, run for your life. Today is never safe tonight. Run for your life. Run for your life. Instead of that spit lungs, it's so it burns when I breathe. I got a trash can mouth. Hear every rotten word I speak. And my city never sleeps. So we don't count on sheep. So when the wolf comes to lunch, oh, we don't know what he eats. Oh, I gotta drop deal hard. I get numb when it beats. To feed a wild dog. I gotta know what he eats. Oh, instead of ashtray love, that's how it burns when I breathe. I got a trash can mouth. Hear every rotten word I speak. When this city never sleeps. So wake some count of sheep. So if the wolf comes to us, then it's the wolf that we eat. 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 Then it's the wolf that we eat.
How's everybody doing out there? Chronic Noise, Uncle Rick, we're here for another Metal Mondays, and that was fucking Voltang with Garbage People. Welcome, everyone. If you haven't been following along, we're here to make Mondays a little bit better, doing our Metal Mondays in lieu of live shows. We're live streaming from the one, the only, Onyx Nightclub in Guelph. By the way, if you're wondering where to find us streaming that, onyxnightclubguelph.com. That's where we're streaming from. That's where we are right now in Guelph, Ontario. And yeah, Metal Mondays, we're doing it up right. Tonight, we are doing a punk edition of Metal Mondays because, let's face it, it's semantics. I mean, as long as it's got crunchy guitars, you know, good fast snare, some screaming, it doesn't matter. It's some form of raucous rock, right? So Metal Mondays, metal rock, metal punk, what the fuck ever. We have tonight Frank Dukes, the punk band from basically Cambridge, Ontario, fair to say. No basically about it. You heard it right here. Mask up, motherfuckers, by the way. If you're doing something that you got to be close to somebody else, do the right thing, right? It's not that hard. Anyway, not going to get political, not going to do it. But I am going to say that we've got a good show tonight, punk edition or no, these guys fucking rock. So we're going to have them play for us. Not yet. No, I'm joking. No, not yet. Anyway, we'll do a little chat, and then they'll play us out. You know how we do on this show. What I do want to say a little bit first is that, again, if you haven't watched us do any of the Metal Mondays, we alternate between doing shows at Onyx in Guelph, and then sometimes at Chronic HQ, as Nick calls it, my place, where I'm slamming out some local music, drinking some brews, smoking some bowls, and literally playing Canadian metal and or punk rock music. So, and again, just in lieu of shows not being live, we want to make sure that we're keeping connected. That's what you got to do. Music is universal, so once you have that, that you can stay connected with people like us. We're bringing bands in that want to stay connected, let you know that they're still alive. Which leads me to say that any bands out there, if you have music, if you're a Canadian band, doesn't matter where in Canada, just somewhere on the map, if you know of a band or if you like a song that you used to know a Canadian band did, message me. I'll throw it on the Metal Monday nights. By the way, my bro Nick Weaver is going to be alternating with me once in a while because, believe it or not, this guy has a day job, and that day job has me working some afternoons. So rather than not have Metal Mondays, we will continue the show. The show must fucking go on. But we will be alternating with Nick and myself, and Nick will probably even be finding himself in the new year doing some, well, before that actually, doing some interviewing and John like I'm doing right now. So again, bands, you want to send your stuff into chronicnoise1@gmail.com or Rick Hall or whatever the fuck you want to do. Send that tunes in. I'll put it up, and somebody will know about your little tune. And then you and me will be able to be musical friends, and everyone will tell two people, and they'll tell two people, and so on and so fucking on. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say before we let these fine gentlemen slam some tunes is that everything that you're seeing, if you have been watching us, you've seen the lights, you see the sound, with the exception of the amateur guy standing up here, me, everything else is 1,000% legit. And I always fail to say or say it wrong somehow, but I 100% know that it's the efforts of Belay Badeau and Sound Events that have put this whole thing together. The lights, the sound, the stage, everything that you're seeing, everything that you're hearing, it is 100% collaboration of friends helping everybody. Mike, everybody involved is a crucial spoke on the wheel. So, with all of that said, we are Metal Mondays, here from Onyx Nightclub. Where do you find us? OnyxNightclubGuelph.com. I'm Uncle Rick, Metal Mondays. Right now, I'm going to shut the heck up and let Frank Dukes do what they do best. I think they're going to play 100 songs in 25 minutes.
It's probably more like 9.
I just upped it. I knew it was 9, but I can't even believe that. So you count it, folks. Anyway, we'll be back chat with the boys soon. Uncle Rick, Chronic Noise, Frank fucking Dukes.
even if your voice gives out.
Forget the lack of sleep.
Fellow rope dust up with heat.
Let's get these covers in.
On to the Cup Series.
Once more from the top.
More voices still stop from CBS. No doubt, I gotta make it count, 'cause you know, tomorrow I can rest. I know you can't go back in time. These ball cards make me feel alive. Once more, take it from the top again. Don't stop the winter and I know you can't go back in time. These ball cards make me feel alive. Once more, take it from the top again. Don't stop the winter and
This is my kind of night. Pack the pen and drive to wherever we may go. Spin an hour 10. It took us back to where this was all I'd ever known. If the stage makes us stop it, doesn't matter if it's the three kids. And it's pumping, the music takes over.
everything's alright, late
But nice
nights, long drives, sun. From the front of
Missed calls and unanswered texts doesn't mean I love you less. This is just a therapy.
Please give me what I need.
My best friends surround me. This band makes me complete. Makes me feel for the man.
Raise and real create.
One too many fears for me, so I packed out the keys. Man is back from on the road. Pull up to exit 282, and we yell, young, I won't go home. In the hall to drop off the gate. Call the boys from Buckland. Grab some grub, see a glass, no kiss.
She's the one for AM played.
When I tell me to think to me, no, this is what I wanna see. They'll see you off to work.
From the front
Those
of
missed calls and unanswered texts doesn't mean I love you less. This is just a therapy.
Please give me what I need.
My best friends surround me. This band makes me complete. Makes me feel for the pain. In the city we help create.
When I look into your eyes, I see through all the lies you tell me. Talk about me, never gonna be the same, my friend. And this time it is for real. Gonna slide that seal out of my back to show you exactly how it feels. Goodbye to my old friends, that you were not a true one in the end. How does it feel that it sends you on your way? head. Every time I see your vicious anger rocks inside my head.
I don't give a fuck
anymore. I wish that you were dead. Goodbye to my old friends, that you were not a true one in the end. Fate has gone. How does it feel that it sent you on your way? Rigor and regret are one and the same, but the we're then drive me insane. When I did it, my dudes and back out in black. How can you think me that's in the tag? Anger and regret are one and the same, but the we're then drive me insane. Say, yeah. Look back on the past 15 years and I got a lot to say. Sorry that I let you down. In so many ways to love you show me, and I clear out time and time again. The desert, this shit, you believe it, and it's time you gotta win. Always screaming out your name, and you look the other way. Sorry for all of that, and I put you through these years. You would find it in your heart. We would go back to the start.
I swear I love you better.
Please forgive me.
Sorry for all the shit that I've done. Fuck up, I wish it could be all undone. Sorry for all the shit that I've done. Fuck up, I wish it could be all undone.
Swear I'm gonna make it right again someday. I'm not sure how or when, but I know when I do, I'm sure to make you proud. To love you once again, or run a beat as one and not apart. Love you selfishly and give you every piece of my heart. Always screaming out your name, and you look the other way. Sorry for all of that shit I put you through these years. You would find it in your heart. We would go back to the start.
I swear I love you better.
Please forgive me.
Sorry for all the shit that I've done. Fuck up, I wish it could be all done. Sorry for all the shit that I've done. Fuck up, I wish it could be all done. Sorry for all the shit that I've done. Fuck up, I wish it could be all done. Sorry for all the shit that I've done. Fuck up, I wish it could be all done.
Hello, everybody. Online.
What's up? That's 4 songs in what, 6 minutes?
No, that was more than 6 minutes.
Was that more than 6?
Yeah.
All right, like 10 maybe.
Anyways, we are playing to a near capacity crowd here. Capacity being 10 people. We're happy to be back in Guelph. It's nice. While we're playing, we don't see people leave anymore, so that's definitely a big plus. Normally at the Jimmy Jazz, they just sort of walk by in the middle of the set, and at least Scott can say goodbye. And anyone who's watching, thanks for tuning in to watch us on a Monday night. This is fun. It's hot, so it feels sort of normal and real. Thanks to Uncle Rick for putting this on. All the sound guys. Thanks to Scott's rack tuner.
Looks like Knight Rider up here.
Right. This is a little ditty called Monday Matinee. If you want to come in, if you want to come in on the gang vocals. Greens? Yeah. Yeah, let's do greens. Yeah, you're right. I'm using an old set list because we didn't write one. This one's called All About the Greens. Want to hold my breath and hope that things will change, but I can't be so self-involved and not the other ways. I know why no we'll make it through another day. Sometimes things fall apart just to be Reaper was stronger and know that. From this weekend, only go closer and nothing comes without work. Compromise, communication to open roads and open hearts. This is within our control. Cause so far together, further every day. So forget those bumpy roads, and when this in my sway, I know why. Who will make it through another day? Sometimes things fall apart, just to be. Reaper was stronger and know that. From this weekend, only go closer and nothing comes without word. Compromise, communication to open roads and open hearts. This is within our control. When now we're moving on, turning a new pace. We can't let those outside dictate our mistakes. We can't let those who don't know which is we paid. We'll take our looks and we move on every day. We'll move on. I've seen a light in you, brighter than most stars. You took me from my worst, got me back to where I started, smelling now with positivity. You held me then, you held me, opened up my to something greater than first thought. Said you got the will to pursue, you just move within your heart. So these words I scribble on the page, attunement to all you've done, but you'll probably never know. So I'll thank you now with all my heart. Though it's tasted there, we're worlds apart. So here I go again, relaxing on that page, remembering all you've done to this day. Through the best and through the worst, we're stuck and through. This is how I'll remember. Through my pain, not compare our words were said, not repair it. Heated exchanges are nothing new. We both said some things, why not do it for everything we both done wrong? Hope to make amends with this song, finally make it feel alright. Real emotion, not just strife. We're to the end, here to you, the history of what we've both been through. I hope to think by calling proud of the more and more not around. Why still got memories to make me smile and they'll stay with me all the while. God's every ways and that's alright. Go out off into the night.
Occupation, destroying human life, building nations. One afterthought, this can't be right. Children dying, in open air prison cells, and can play the victim. 50 years of living hell. How much longer will you keep them in their prison? Settlements take hold, the crisis born. Accusation, theft, often wonder how evil always wins. Former of mind control, scientistic war, well they cannot win. Will you spend your life pretending you can see evil deeds at work? Do you think it's time to take control? Realize all humans have right to this world. Free Palestine. All right, we got 2 more for you guys.
Then we're gonna take a break.
Then we're gonna take a break and talk. Because talking's fun. Yo, what's up, Ethan, if you're watching?
That's his kid.
Hey, buddy. Hope you're headbanging and driving your mother crazy.
Is that really even something you have to hope for?
Oh, I know what's happening.
If there's a comment feed, he's almost certainly saying, "That's my dad."
That's my
Hey,
dad.
this is my dad's band. Now this one's called Monday Matinee.
Yeah.
April 24th, 2000, when I took that trip downtown. Monday Matinee, never thought about causes of dodging. There's a gunman through the door and a big old tub. Open the show and tell me why Dave Nichols was so great. Next up, two guys screaming about how we've got to shelter the children. We're such ignorant insane. Music is like a ton of bricks and the world was shaking. But when the kids circle round the room, we're down and ain't the ground and I'm still surrounded. To back up, push back on my feet. Back to go back to 15. And they'll claim they were still kicking. There's everything last time. Myers likes to pray. Another joke capped off the show with the villain drummer, but you never know why. Still wonder what would happen if Monin had played. Music like a ton of bricks and the floor was shaking. When the kids circle round the room, we're down and I hit the ground and I'm still surrounded. We back up, put back on my feet to start again. One night day I felt the change and my life would never be the same. Well, a simple photo changed my world. When before time and a tear-ripped card, I was ready to start a war. But first I'd have to get paired up.
So it's called Fukushima Fancy. And here we go, another time, another example of a rich man's fight. With not enough to make, privatize, forget about how the world will pay each mistake. Oil mine, train until decay. And if I must choose, sacrifice to guarantee you that this land has something that isn't yours. At some point, no is the answer to war. You can't just monopolize birth-given rights. No, without a voice. You have a choice to use your voice. Dollars and cents, money best unspent. Water is life, so fuck your plight. Corporate greed should not supersede human rights. This land has something that isn't yours. At some point, no is the
the answer to war. You can't just monopolize the given rights. No, without a fight.
Holy wow, they just punked shit up. Frank Dukes, these guys just blew it out of the water. I believe you did hit it under 25 minutes, your 9 songs. Kudos for that, although stretching it out a little bit. She must say that to you once in a while. Sorry. Oh, by the way, Scott, there's someone I won't mention wrote me and said they would like to kiss your bum hole. Except for it wasn't a female. Okay. Anyway,
the way it is right now, you're in for a treat, pal.
There you go. You heard it. Smegma and all. Whatever that is. Anyway, Uncle Rick, Chronic Noise, Metal Mondays. You just heard Frank Dukes. You guys must need to go to the washroom by now. Roll one, crack one, boil the kettle, do whatever you got to do. Give us 5 minutes. We're going to come back, shoot the breeze about all things good in music. Peace.
Replace the person that's around. We'll in the piggly wiggly. And now you carry me away. Why don't you carry me home? Why no one blame us all night, baby? But what it is, I don't know. When I get carried away, why don't you carry me home? You know I'm blame us all night, baby. But what it is, I don't know. Now I think I'm starting to make sense. Like my mouth is connected to my head. Well, and my heart is beating somewhere in my chest. The beat is getting louder, watch me now. Why can't I tell? And I don't want to watch me roll. Now that is shit, I'm pissed and gold. Drag me down, swallow me whole. I'm too hot to handle, too good to hold. Well, I'm gotten ready to go on. Official sponsor of the launch and roll. The law and roll. The shock and all. The fuck, alright. Wow. I got bombs and silver tongue. Our bridges to rise. I need deeper stuff. I got blood on my hands and coke in my rum. Now the son of a bitch and a bitch of a son. When I'm poisoned the doctor and knocked off his wine, I'm kissing the dead, not finger the night. I smoke till I'm wrong, I drink till I'm right. I'm a pig in the dark when I turn down the light.
Yes, we are back with Frank Dukes. And you were listening to Voltang again, the mighty Voltang from Hamilton, Ontario, a piggly wiggly. That was brought to you by Voltang, as I said. We are here with Frank Dukes, Metal Mondays. I am Uncle Rick. We are at Onyx Nightclub in Guelph. So if you're looking to find out where to find us, or if you ever want to purchase tickets for any of the events here, onyxnightclubguelph.com. Simple as that. And I might just say, you know, fuck Facebook while we're at it, because every time I do a show at home, I'm getting little warnings that I can't do it. And apparently I fucking can. So take that.
Yeah, fuck
and yeah, so I'm a rebel. Plus I'll be dead before they get me. Anyway. Pew, pew. Hey, I shot a movie one time, and I was a gangster, and I went out the door, and I was supposed to shoot my gun in the air, and I literally walked out and went, pew, pew, and they went, perfect, but cut, because we've got sound effects that come in and do the gun. And I went, why? What did I? And they went, you come out, you literally went, pew, pew. I was like, so lesson learned right there.
Did you get many acting gigs?
Shout out to Orange Hat Film Productions. No, I don't. I'm on IMBD or whatever with no picture, so they know where not to go.
Rick Hall, pew pew guy.
You need somebody to come out and go pew pew. I'm your fucking man. Anyway, we are more than happy to be doing the punk edition of Metal Mondays with Frank Dukes. First thing I want to ask is, am I saying Frank Dukes properly?
Absolutely.
It's not like Frank Ducks or Dux or something.
Dicks.
Yeah. Okay. Because I know that right off the top, when I first heard the band name, it was a recollection from Van Damme movies. And I remember talking to Scott and saying, oh my God, that's what, and it's like, that's so inane because like they're the band. Of course they know that. They just didn't make up the name.
Yeah, and that same show, we were playing with people who were significantly younger than us. And we were like, we used to watch it on VHS tape. And they just, pardon?
Right. Yeah, which that was at Van Gogh's, correct?
It was.
And I was racking my head trying to figure out, was that either a show that was Cozen from Toronto on that show, or was it Insurrection? Oh, Harbor. But there was a metal band, wasn't there? There was something not
I don't think
cohesive, like it wasn't just a punk. Maybe? No?
Maybe not.
Oh, yeah. I know it was at Van Gogh's. It was a sweet show. Yeah, we actually had Jamie and the boys out finally after all that time, and I'd love to have Harbor out again, who are now, yes, Fortune Cove. Good call. Anyway, Frank Dukes, glad to have you guys, and right off the hop, we'll just go right from my left all the way down to that guy, a handsome fella at the end. Let us know what you do in the band, who you are.
I'm Joel. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Sean. I slap bass.
I'm Kyle. I play drums.
I'm Scott. I play guitar, sing.
There you have it. That about wraps it up. They're going to play a couple. No, anyway. so welcome to another Metal Monday, Punk Edition. Punk music's fast, right? We just zipped through that fucking interview, didn't we? No. Anyway, where did Frank Dukes, the name for the band, come about? Like, I mean, you're all watching the movie, you're hammered, and you go, hey, Frank Dukes, he's a guy in the...
Am I taking this one?
Yeah, you go ahead.
You can all take it one at a time.
So I guess I pitched the name as we were doing that inevitable band, like what's our name going to be, and tossing them around. It was a toss-up, I think, at that point in time between Frank Dukes and Forbes Park, because that was a place that was special to us growing up. And we all knew each other as teenagers, and some joined different bands, some went in this weird prog rock direction, some just stopped playing music, period. But Scott and I ended up working together at Loblaws, and we'd always sort of pitched, like, we should get a band together at some point in time. And then a jam hall came open. Scott called me up and some other guys, and we started. And after writing our first song and getting a show, it's like, I guess we need a name. So that's where it came about. And then these two guys got to come on board the Frank Dukes train later on in the history.
Choo choo.
Did you guys happen to say, like, Frank Dukes, did you ever want to rethink that now that you got new members? No, I don't mean that as a bad name, but you have new members come in. Does that ever, where some bands will say, no, we keep the name, it keeps going, or we reform as whatever because we got new members now?
I think we'd stick with it so long as we went. I mean, if Shai Hulud can do it over how many
Gene
albums,
and Paul didn't
probably
change the name Kiss, did they? Right?
No.
You guys probably don't know who that is. You're a little young.
Fuck it.
Knights and Soldiers of Satan.
Right, exactly. No, okay, so that's fun. Do you like martial arts movies to start with?
Yes, I grew up on martial arts movies. That's like
So it was kind of a no-brainer
fondest memory of,
when you
growing
picked.
up was watching martial arts movies with my pops.
Nice.
Rest in peace, JR.
Yeah, that's awesome.
100% Going to the Landry's video on a Friday night, grabbing a VHS tape, and then watching it once that night, wake up the next morning, watch it again before you return it.
And not just Jackie Chan, but we're talking like all the old.
Talking like Steven Seagal.
Right,
you know,
right.
just
All
stone face the whole time,
Yeah.
breaking people's forearms.
Yeah. And then you don't know martial arts unless you've seen Van Damme with his legs spread out
And he can still,
against a
he can
wall,
still
or
pull that off.
he probably can.
See the one where he did it between
Are you
the
speaking
two
from
trucks?
personal experience, or?
No,
Oh, okay. Just checking. You never know who
Follow him
knows.
on Instagram.
You never know who knows who. I made it funny.
I beat him off.
At your expense. I'm terribly sorry.
Typical, that's how it goes.
Yeah. No. Okay. So you did allude to a little bit of members going off one way and the other. Would any of those members, I guess Scott, still being in the band, did Scott go off and do something else, or what bands were you guys? I guess we'll just ask down the line. Were you previously in? We'll go that route.
I was in a band who was extremely unimportant for like 2 years called Veal Gluck. That was my high school band.
Every band is a stepping stone to me, like especially as a promoter, because some bands are opening my show and some bands are bringing the people in from their name. So like,
Yeah, we did a thing for a few years, and then I just basically stopped playing music for like 15 years probably until this came along. Sean, you're up.
We started Assassin's Accent back in the day with me and Rebello, and then moved on from to Persona in a band called Extinctor Alive. Extinctor Alive.
Yeah, toured with the Age Letters.
You're coming with me. Woo!
So back when we were like 16, yeah, my band started off as Some Other Influence. Probably like an 8-year break, kind of still playing drums in there, but once things started going and we had more money, Curbside started, and that's what I'm currently doing as well. And these boys came in and needed a drummer, so I said I'd fill in for a show, and here I am a year later still playing shows with them. So
Well, the fit is really cool because, like, even just watching that little, I'm going to say drum solo, but that little drum snippet in there. Hey, no, it's very seldom does the bass player or the drummer get to do a little something. This is coming from like a 70s guy who would sit and watch like a 35-minute drum solo followed by a 20-minute guitar solo, and like the lights would be on him, and we'd all be just wanting more. Like when he stopped, we weren't sleeping, we wanted more. So just the ADD crowd these days surprises me when nobody wants to see a solo by anybody. I'm like, I'm a musician guy.
I saw April Wine a couple years ago, and
Two drummers, three guitar players.
It was just one drummer, but he did a sick drum solo, and he did a sweet like slow motion trick. And I said, I'm not doing a drum solo until I can do that slow motion trick. I can't do that slow motion trick yet, so no drum solos for me, man.
Well, just keep it to that little.
Aye, there you go.
Yeah, no, very cool though, very fitting.
Glorified Phil, I think.
It just never ends. It's a never-ending fill.
There we go.
Well, I wouldn't profess to know a whole lot about punk music other than, I mean, obviously hearing it through my whole life, but as far as how it's constructed, a lot of times it's simplicity, and even though you guys have that thread of simplicity that goes through, there's a lot going on when you guys are playing. The bass, the drums, the guitars, the singing, the backup vocals, everything. Very much like when you mentioned Mittendorf, Harbor, those guys rock out the same way in a more pop punk, I think a slightly more pop punk than the harder edge that you guys do, but very fun to watch because it's engaging. You know what I mean? It's not just done and I mean there's something for everybody, but me personally, I like a little bit of progression or a little bit of dancing around, why I called that a drum solo, because it, instead of just carrying on with the song, boom, it's done, you were able to just throw it around a little bit and then out, and I thought that was so much fun. It's a lot of fun to watch as an audience member.
You're right, and I think that's what 20 years, I'm sure we've all been playing our instruments for 20 years, and that's what you kind of, I guess, learn with all those years. One, what each other are going to do, and then all that flair that comes with it.
Right. If you were a newer band unaware of each other's capabilities and your own capabilities, you maybe wouldn't be as comfortable.
Might be a little bit more simplistic, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, again, kudos to any kind of music. Honestly, if you're up there playing it, I think that deserves a nod. But when you know you're playing and you know your members, you really can put all you got on the table, and sometimes it makes a beautiful. Your music is punky and slightly mathy, I guess. You know what I mean? It's got a little bit of straying here and there where it's fun. I'm a prog guy,
We
so
definitely feed off each other too. So if one guy's going ridiculous, another guy's going to go ridiculous, and we're just going to one up each other until it's just really ridiculous.
Okay, so there's a question right there. How does the songwriting for Frank Dukes kind of take place?
Joel brings in framework, and then we change it up on them. Everybody just kind of like,
look at this.
Got their own job to do essentially. So like, he might play something 4 times, and I'll say, no, let's do that 3. And then everybody's got an input essentially. Like
that's the heavy math we do.
That's
right
the heavy
there.
math.
We're gonna turn that 4 into a 3.
That's it. 2.5.
I think that's great because that's input from everybody.
2.5. That's
We have some 2.5s. Try and figure that out.
Within your abilities or even not, right? No, reach for the stars. But yeah, no, that's fun to know. When you're, do you write at a jam space, or will you guys wait? Like you said, you'll bring something forward. Will you guys wait till you get to a jam?
Joel will bring something to the table, and then, like I
Yeah.
said, we work on it at the jam hall or.
If you come up with something, or one of the other two guys comes up with a star, do you go, no, man, I don't want to use that, or
I'm
no,
completely open
it's
to
open?
You
Yeah.
gotta try it.
Yeah,
You
of
know
course.
what I mean? Like anybody's idea is valid.
Yeah.
So you try it.
Well,
you try and work it into the song, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, well. no
One of my favorite things about punk is the fact that any instrument, including vocals, can start the song. You know what I mean? Like it's not unusual to hear a bass just go, and you know what I mean? And boom, 1, 2, 3, go, you're in. Vocals can just shout right in. Drums could come in with a beat first, where the listener gets to hear that eight count and then in or whatever. It's one music where it doesn't seem out of place to just start in with any instrument. I wish more bands did that because it kind of pigeonholes certain bands if they start in the same way all of the time. I mean, if you're already huge like a AC/DC or a Nickelback or a whatever, then that's fine. That's what people expect. But if you're trying to turn heads and you really want to be artistic as well, then your best bet is to throw everything in and just, see where it lands. Yeah. Which you guys obviously do, because out of all of the 100 songs that you guys just played, it's seriously like the first song you played was decidedly slower, or at least the start of it, which made me think, TikTok boys, you're not gonna get through 9 songs doing that, but you manage with all the styles that you incorporate to still be able to fit them in. And it was certainly no race. We're joking about that, but it was fun to see that, again, knowing your instruments, knowing each other, what you can achieve in a certain amount of time. So kudos.
In all honesty, it's just fun. We haven't done this in a long ass time. To be able to be on the lights and hearing loud ass shit is sweet.
Have you been jamming in your jam space at all, or like?
Yes.
And there's the odd band out there that has been playing clandestine shows. The odd one here, a patio show, a birthday, whatever. Have you guys done anything since the? No.
Nobody wants us to play their birthday.
No, we almost played. Remember, we were gonna play for that guy, and
Yes,
he's like,
April
"Hey,
got shut down."
No. Hey, can you cover Josie for my girlfriend?" And then he was
Yeah.
playing Josie on his acoustic guitar, and his girlfriend walked into the room and went, "I hate that song." And then that plan sort of got canceled, so we weren't gonna do it anymore.
down. Hard.
Anniversary present. Figures out like
For
2
who?
weeks before that she hates the song. What's up, Figs? Shout out, Disgust. What up?
So chronologically, what would we say Frank Dukes has been around for at its longest, like since the first inception?
5 years.
Yeah, 2016-ish.
Yeah. Well, I think we've had the Jam Hall.
Jam Hall for 5
years, an actual band for 4 years.
Yeah.
So did you guys do any touring as, even if touring is just your Canadian, out west, down east, anything like that, or around Southern Ontario?
We've done a series of what I guess we call tours. TWO.
Weekend warriors?
Yes, we
Two
are very
shows.
much weekend warriors. We all have jobs we go to, but we've gone out to Quebec a few times and had some of like our best shows.
Quebec loves their
down
punk
there.
rock.
Quebec
Oh, yeah.
loves our style of music.
Yeah,
and-
I wouldn't be jealous because I think what we have here is pretty great. But for metal, punk, rock in general, Montreal, Quebec, that whole area breeds some great creativity.
We love you, Quebec.
Yeah.
Je mange les plots.
And I mean, if we, oh my goodness, if you look at it, like whenever there's Pooza every year, like all those bands are stopping here in Guelph as a way to Quebec City, so absolutely, or to Montreal rather, but.
Right, kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Go back a little bit. I know that Scott, I'll get you to fill in the blanks because I'm not exactly sure of the history,
Blanks.
but I know that Belay Bedeau was in, yep,
Billy Bad Dude.
yeah, the one, the only, the dreaded Boy Wonder was in Ye's Letters,
Yeah,
the once dreaded. And
absolutely.
yeah, and
Yeah, we toured
and apparently you guys toured together in a band you were in. What band was that?
It was Extinctor Alive. Sean was also.
Okay,
in the
right.
band
You had
as
mentioned
well.
that. Yeah.
And we did a 10-day tour out east.
What was the style of music? I'm going to guess
Prog
differently than was it?
Prog rockish.
Yeah. Did that? I won't say was it something you guys liked because obviously you
We
liked
liked
doing
it.
it.
Did other people like
I
it?
was just going to say, how did that sell?
We enjoyed it a lot.
Absolutely not.
Did any of the other members of that go on to still be in the scene any way that you know of, or
That
no?
was a tough band to be in. Like it was like we had a lot of fun writing that music, and it like really meant a lot to me, like the brotherhood and like the things we got to do together. But man, like the prog
pieces fall
scene
apart.
is like,
Could you pull it off live?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'd rip it out pretty good.
Did you have one of the operatic type singers, or
No.
Or
Well, sort of. Matt Davey had like a
Who
unique.
is still on like almost a prog-ish?
He's
Like,
on
he's
a-
still doing different
He's
stuff.
doing. Yeah, he's different. He's a different cat. But yeah, his voice was very unique, like very raspy, high. I don't know how to explain it, but
where did you guys play with Yays? Like, were you on the same bills? Did you tour
First time we
together,
played with
or?
Age was at the Shadow.
Oh, nice. That's
And
where I started.
That's where we met them. We played a show together. There was some punk bands playing, if I'm not mistaken, and then the two of us. And yeah, it was dope. I remember mooning them on the way out as we drove by, and then they still contacted us, so I didn't scare them off, I guess. But no, yeah, like instant
That's awesome.
connection with those guys. Like, man, brothers for life. Like
And-
JJ, Michael,
Yeah.
Hill, hardcore, camcore.
I hear insiders say that Yays not only have an album in the can that I haven't, or audience members, but like fuck everybody else, I haven't heard yet. But the true fan. But not only that, I hear that they might be getting back together.
Oh, really? Back together,
Yeah.
even.
I just heard that now in my own head. And and I thought to myself, what would it take? I would just get a hold of Michael, I'd get a hold of Belay.
Lots of weed.
That seems like, okay, so we're good then. So I can get them anytime.
Absolutely. Integrity Farms.
Find a use.
I wish that I was studied enough in the ways of Frank Dukes to know each and every one of you, besides the beautiful Scott down there prior to this. But I understand that somebody did a Goo Goo Dolls cover with somebody.
That was
be you?
me, with my
And-
friend Davey Knight from Death Cemetery, Winning Streak.
Right, which when I heard the name Debt Cemetery, I was like, that is perfect, because everybody's in a debt cemetery, and it's a take on Pet Cemetery, and the whole, it was just, it's brilliant. But anyway, yeah, so how did that, you guys are just friends and said, let's
How
knock
it
one out, or?
started was I wanted to play it with Frank Dukes, but there was too much humming and hawing, and then I sent it to
Right, so
Davey.
fuck them, and we'll just do it with,
I had a demo
with somebody who
I mean,
appreciates it,
I
right?
had it in my head for a long time, and we sorted it at once at a jam, and then nothing happened, and then I started recording things on my computer and made like a rough cut of it with my terrible program drums and fills that I can't do. And then I sent it to him, and he's like, I've always wanted to record that song, and he's like, you want to do it together? And I was just like, yeah, sure. Like, we started that like right at the beginning of like the shutdown, so we had nothing.
What was the response on that, if any? Like, was there some,
I think some people
you know how we all live for
liked it.
likes and stuff like that these days? Did you get like 57 likes, or?
Probably 58 or 9. Yeah,
Wow,
but,
holy shit.
Davey hosted.
Watch
it
out,
on
Brandon
his
Eady's
site,
going to
so-
ask you to go on Hot Wings pretty soon. No, well, fuck, I should probably just burn my bridge there. Sorry, Edie. No,
Hopefully we didn't burn our bridge.
I'm waiting for a fucking call.
Rick does
So,
not
like, I like
sponsor
Hot
us.
Wings, but when they have athletes like Canadian Olympic athletes on, I know Uncle Rick ain't getting on, so there's no worries there. Anyway, I always manage to kind of segue off, kind of like Family Guy. We always come back, though. Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. I got to listen to that because Goo Goo Dolls is pretty cool. And did you do it true to form, or did you put your own spin on it?
We did
Or
like our own way.
Nice.
So
That's what I
the
want to
whole
hear.
time, like the entire time.
When I hear somebody does like covers of, say, Black Sabbath or covers of whatever, I want to hear it fucked up a little bit. Not destroyed where you can't figure it out, but play with it a little bit.
Yeah, it's
you
got
know,
some nice
don't do
pop elements to
Metallica
it
turns the
still.
page or fucking Whiskey in a Jarro or something like that. Whatever. Like, I mean, that's teach their own, but that's a song you play in your jam space. You don't fuck over your fans with something like tripe like that. That's just my, hey, when I talk to James next time, I'll apologize. No, I'm just
Fuck 'em.
like I would know
Master of
James.
Puppets and shut the fuck up. man.
Right? Just go back to do those first two albums over and over and don't fucking say anything. Anyway. Okay, all right. 3-4 albums and Justice for All, and we stop right there. But the drum sound on that was just shite. It was tinny AF. As the youngins say. Yeah, as the kids say. So,
Sus.
yeah, so anyway, who else has been in something that, or who's currently in anything right now?
This guy.
Oh, yeah, you had mentioned before you were in,
Playing with Curbside as well.
Curbside.
Another band from the 519 area that plays fast punk rock.
cool. So what, and I'm not joking, what differentiates them from you? From Frank Dukes?
Absolutely nothing.
No, seriously, like, I mean, it's just good, fast,
Yeah, exactly,
fun.
man. It's a pretty easy formula.
If
200 beats per minute or faster.
if you guys were playing, Curbside was playing, would somebody go, "Is that Frank Dukes?" Or is it?
No, I can't sing like Pat.
Remember that show in Hamilton? Remember that show in Hamilton where that guy came up to us and he was just like, "Oh man, I really don't like Curbside, but this drummer's starting to change my mind." And we're just like, "Yo, it's the same
That was
drummer."
Best-
Man. Like, what are you talking about?
Best backhanded compliment ever, right?
I love it to my face too. It was great.
Yeah, you're like, "I'm right here."
Yeah, Frank does.
No.
It was great.
That's-
I took it in strides. It's
that's
okay.
awesome.
I think he came and saw us out of the next show and said, "Fuck, I'm so sorry I said that about Curbside. You guys are amazing."
yeah. The guy who came to see us in London. Yeah.
Also, bass player, what was your name again? Sorry. Sean, I really appreciate your backup vocals because coming into it, I knew that you guys always you guys sang together, and I take that as kind of co-lead singing. But the backups are important, especially in punk music, not for your harmonies necessarily. Well, I guess harmonic gang shouts and the oh parts, which are crucial, right? Like, I mean, a song could really suck if it either wasn't there or if it fell flat or something like that. And you guys pull it like
To be honest,
it's perfect.
the audience here was garbage and wasn't really helping with the backup.
Right?
Either, so we need all the help we
so
can get.
lackluster. Everybody standing around with their hand down their pants. All like you said, all 6 of them or 10 of them. No. I would say, how bad do you miss live shows? But I'll pose it to you this way. If someone called and said, "We've got a socially distanced show, yada, yada, 50 people, blah, blah, blah," would Frank Dukes be playing that show, or are you passing, or what's your, not to get political, but what's
We'll
your...
take it in stride. Yeah,
So I would type you back and say, "What the fuck, does that mean yes?"
maybe. Maybe, baby.
And then it would go to the band chat, and I'd be like, I don't know. And then it's like, all right, I don't know. There's something to be said for, like, as much as we love playing shows, and this has been like a sweet event to do, it's people sitting at tables, which is necessary at this point in time. It's not going to feed you back the same energy that it is with, like,
No.
people standing in your face.
They sit at tables
No,
anyway.
It does.
Good call. But sometimes they stand up a bit, like when they want to go out for a smoke.
Give them. a
Well,
table,
I happen
they
to
will
know that as long as you're in your bubble, you can probably stand. But no, I get what you're saying, and
Maybe if they roadhoused it, you know what I mean? Like some
Patrick
plexiglass, yeah, Patrick Swayze style. Then I can rip a drunk guy's throat out of it.
let's put wire up too. So let's put wire mesh chicken fence up so we can in fact throw bottles too.
Only if Jeff Healy can come. Oops.
Or Patrick Swayze. Whoops.
Oop, oop. Maybe Ghost will show up.
Last
No.
show,
No? Ghost? No?
Yeah, he was in Ghost.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. All right.
Maybe just Demi Moore will show up, and that'd be. We wouldn't even think of the other 2 people. Who were they? Anyway, Scott.
Yes.
I will ask you a question, and it is pertaining to you and only you.
Uh-oh.
Pink Lemonade Records.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I got the name right. So
Yep.
you fill me in from there. Is anybody in the band, before I give you the mic, anybody in the band involved any way, shape, or form in Pink Lemonade Records?
If I need them, they will be. Yeah. If I've asked, that anybody's been willing to help.
Right. So support-wise and
Support-wise,
everything.
it's there for sure.
Absolutely.
And,
okay. So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about Pink Lemonade.
It's a label from Cambridge, Ontario. It's an independent label. We just kind of try and help our friends out.
We,
bands and-
alluding to plural. So it's
Derek Wilson.
Derek Wilson. Is Derek in a band?
Derek is not in a band, but
So what is his credentials exactly to be able to?
Derek consumes.
He's just got an ear, like
He's got an ear for music. Like
I'm
never
fucking with you
met- I've
anyway,
seen
but
pretty much any interview
but
I've
not.
done about it. Derek consumes music at a
like Johnny Five, right?
it's a
Just input.
ridiculous pace. Like
Oh,
every
that's,
Friday,
again,
that
outdating
guy's
myself.
got a brand new playlist of everything that just dropped, and he just runs through it and like listens, and then he'll like, if he likes something, digs into the record, like.
Well, you nailed it with Botfly.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! Like there, actually, we did a Metal Monday where we opened and had Botfly playing. I'm not wrong on that, am I? Because
I don't know. They're doing
Well,
other things with other labels as well. So.
Okay, well, I'm not in the
Pink Lemonade, our
past.
biggest thing is we don't own anybody. Like,
Okay.
If you work with us, you have the ability to just do what you want.
So I'm in a I'm in a band. Are you looking for me or am I looking for you?
Usually people look for us. We don't.
So I find you and I'm asking you to do what for me?
Listen to a record essentially, and then we'll listen to it, and then after that we'll try and go to a show, see what you're like live, keep an eye on you. But other than that, it's pretty low key right now with COVID. She's
True.
right down.
Yep.
We're not spending any money on.
Do you do distribution for bands or any?
Yeah, if you want to like give us something to distribute for you, we can put it at our table or put it on our website. Like we're helping John Creedon out and the Flying Hellfish. He's given us some things to distro for him.
Nice.
pinklemonade.bigcartel.com.
Yeah, that's the one. Pinklemonade.bigcartel.com. Pinklemonaderecords.bigcartel.com.
There you go.
Yeah, buy something maybe. Maybe not.
We put out this album and then never got to do anything with it. So you should buy
Yeah.
some of those. You
Yeah,
can go to
buy some.
Thousand Island Records if you're watching from somewhere with shipping. They'll hook you up.
What bands are on the label currently? Would we say?
Currently, we're working with like us, obviously. Bad Egg is on the label.
Awesome band.
Oh,
I saw them at Hope Fest. I was ready to go out for a smoke, not cigarettes, and I go walking out the door, and the second they started, I turned right around and walked back in.
They're
I think
amazing.
Stacy is the singer. I think
Stacy,
It
Chris, what up?
Yeah,
guys?
like I mean, and Brian's.
Brian's
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, like I mean. First of all, again, taking something that could be just construed as like noise, and really, I heard art. Every word of it, just the lyrics, just the song progressions, the way they would all of a sudden get atmospheric for a few, and then right back into bombastic.
Yeah.
Noise punk, or I don't know my terminology for
They're
punk music,
fantastic.
but yeah, real engaging, real fun to watch, and yeah, just crazy.
They crush. And Grabert, obviously.
Grabert, yeah. Yeah,
Hometown
we've
boys.
had them in Guelph how many times?
Yeah, we got
Great.
Father Bodies.
They were also at Hope Fest.
We've released
Great
some
band.
stuff with Conductor, which is like Adelita, punk rock band, friends of ours. Kitzel.
Kitzel.
Put out a Kitzel record.
That is something. I booked her the one time,
great.
and I would just book her to play for me.
Yeah.
Sometime.
No,
again, as a music fan, I know I sound selfish all the time, but that's why I started Chronic Noise Promotions. Is that I can throw as many parties with the entertainers that I want. Now that's all false. It was for my kids, but the long short is that when you promote, you can literally choose as a label can,
Yeah.
and when you see something, you got to do all you can do to push that band.
sure.
Jupiter Hollow. Is a band that I'm right enamored with, but Kitzel has something that's totally different.
Yeah. We're a multi-genre label.
Yeah, it's
We don't really stick to anything. Like,
so that's refreshing to know because your input to different types of bands could get them on other shows. You have lots of contacts throughout Ontario, Canada, whatnot, and so it could be instrumental, right? In
shout out to the Great Sabatini, too. They let us put out their
Great Sabatini, yeah,
newest
holy fuck.
record, and fuck, that thing crushes.
Yeah. With the whole COVID thing, what do you think, not only for Pink Lemonade Records, but for Frank Dukes and for other bands? What's your take on, like you pointed out, you may not really want to go and play live shows right now. You maybe want to wait and see what the temperature does. Cut to a year from now, do bands just give up, or do we find a new way? Do we, you know what I mean? Like, what's the thought on going forward for Frank
I don't know
Dukes?
how comfortable you feel about basements of houses, but I think that's where the punk rock scene is going. I think.
Well, it's probably where it started. Like
where it started for
right?
sure, but like.
So
I don't know. Like I just heard some rumors that Horseshoe's opening, and it's like maximum 50, plexiglass. Show start at 6, end at 10.
Yeah.
One band, 2 1-hour sets. So unless you're in a cover band, I think she going into the basement.
Yeah, well, and there's different ways of looking at it too. I guess just to spell it out fast is number one, we can say, hey, can't do nothing, so we're either just going to put out content, music, videos, do some live streams, do some interviews, the end, or we will slowly take a show here, doing all those other things, but trying to, because I know me as a fan, there's part of me that thinks, oh, that sucks. You can't stand there, mosh, headbang in front of a band. You can't. There's no merch table where you're running up and just the hugs, the brohood of metal and punk and rock and everything. It's dirty, it's sweaty, it's like and no one gives a fuck, right? Now you got to give a fuck, and it's hard. But that said, me personally, if I have to sit there with my beer and can't leave my bubble, if I can watch live music and still see other people and have my beer, get out of the house once in a while, I think there's something to be said for that too, if you're doing it safely. I don't want to be a proponent of I'm not an anti-masker or anything like that. All the opposite, actually. But we got to find out where we're going with this. And when you come up to a wall in life, you don't just turn around. You go around it, you go over it, you dig under it, you do something to get through that fucking wall. And I think that's where we're at right now.
I agree.
I think it's probably safe to say, though, like, shows or no shows, like, what we do together, like, this is about, like, this is our, like, mental health. This is where, like, wherever anything is within the world, if it's like an hour that you're playing music with your friends, nothing else in the world matters anymore. It's just like you're in the moment with that music. So like,
well
if
said.
If it's the four
Music
of us in
for
a
the soul.
jam hall doing it,
Right.
then it's the four of us in the jam hall.
Yeah,
doing it.
I guess I'm thinking of it from an entertainment, from a promoter, from clubs, from what are we going to do for that live thing. But I forget that any artist, whether it's a painter, a musician, or whatever, is doing the art for their soul, first of all. They're doing the art, and it wouldn't matter if you were on a top of a mountain or if the whole world's a shit show. It's cathartic to have just that. So well said for that. Being that there are more fans than bands, I'm going to guess. Well, maybe not these days because there's so many bands.
Our fans are mostly all in bands, I think. Once you
Right?
this age, you just play to other bands for the most part. Band.
I remember we'd do shows at District, and either half the people worked there, so they didn't pay, or they were in bands, and they're like, dude, you got, yeah, we got, dude, you got, yeah, we're good. And it's like, okay, bands aren't getting paid tonight. No, that's not how it went. But I mean, it's when all of your friends are,
How a good business would go.
when all your friends are in bands, it's kind of hard to. But no, that's well put. I never.
We drove to Hamilton once in 2 different cars to play a show for $25. Okay, 25. You're not in it for money, folks.
That's the worst story you got.
St. Thomas was.
I was just gonna say,
Thomas was the worst. Yes.
every one of you spit me out some memorable music moment in your playing career. It doesn't have to be Frank Dukes, but just something where you busted a string, or you ripped your pants, or whatever.
So like, when we first started doing this, I think it was St. Thomas Rebello. St. Thomas was what, our second show?
Yeah, about that.
Scott's looking all over the place. He's booking us a show. He gets us this club in St. Thomas. We make
The Brunny?
hour-and-a-half trek.
The Brunswick.
No,
No.
just out of London.
Venue was amazing. Though.
Venue was insane. We're like, yeah, this is great. We literally played to the other bands, but as we're finishing our set, you can look out the door because this venue turns into a club once all the live bands get.
Oh, I've been there.
The second we flick that standby switch on the amp, the floodgates open, probably 200 people come rolling in. They were all just upstairs, like doing their own thing just until we stopped. That would be like, and whatever, that wasn't even a negative memory. My favorite memory was actually 2 years ago tomorrow when we got to play Punk Rock Meeting in Quebec. We were brought on by some very kind people, Max and Vince, and we got to play a festival with like some of the greatest bands going right now.
What kind of number of audience? Like, was it a lot of people watching too?
I swear to God, there was like
Ours was only
one day, but I swear there was like 300.
Lanty
people
Bar
out
in
there.
Quebec, or Quebec City. It was by far the biggest show we ever played at that point. And it was my birthday that day too, so like that was like stars aligning. Like I don't have very high aspirations as a musician, but like that ticked a bucket list item for me.
Yeah, that's something you don't have to kind of wait for. You know the feeling when if you look out and you feel that. That's like,
We ain't playing stadiums, so that was the stadium for me.
if you never played one more show, you topped it. Like that was it right there. That's awesome. You guys, Sean?
You got show memory, dude. Show memory?
No.
We were on tour with the Age Letters, and we were in Moncton.
Belay's already laughing, so you know something happened.
I drove the entire tour, and I was like, I'm done. I'm going to enjoy this evening. And we set up the show. We had to set up everything on the gear. And I starting to have a few beers. And I was like, oh, this is a good time. And turns out I ended up behind the bar pouring my own pitchers, right? Pouring them and giving them to everybody. And I didn't remember the whole night, but at the end of the night, I forgot all of my cables, all of my gear, and moved on to the next town. And then after that, I just continued driving.
Which he does to this day. In that Quebec City show, he's like, all right, guys, I'm taking a break on the way home. 10 minutes into the drive,
Quebec City.
pull over, man, I'm gonna barf. And then he did, he barfed, and he's like, all right, I'm driving the rest of the way home. And we're all like, sweet, no drive.
24 pints for beer tickets. That's
Cross Canada, and I mean, I just enjoy driving, so
That's a good.
get everybody safe.
That's a good memory.
Especially with 10 people.
Good
in the
memory
van.
for rock and roll.
Okay. For mine's going to be at Punk Rock Meeting as well. Curbside got to play that. It's pretty wild going to a place that you've never been before and seeing a shitload of people front singing all of your lyrics. Like, what the fuck? I've never seen you before in my life. How do you know
And they speak
everything?
a different language.
And yeah, that's the other thing too. There's a language barrier and they still know everything.
I said earlier, music's universal. I think that's something where it's just you'll hear Japanese fans shouting out the lyrics of American or Canadian bands when they go over there because why would they translate it through into they want to sing it like it's done. But that's quite the accomplishment for not to say Curbside or Frank Dukes is small, but you're an up and coming bands, both of them, and they are people are singing your stuff like they've taken the time to
Definitely, yeah.
you know.
Special feeling, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think we are pretty much going to wrap it for the talking part, unless you guys have any shout-outs that you'd like to do. We have been talking with Frank Dukes on Metal Mondays excessively. Who knew we could talk so long? But anyway, these guys do a couple shout-outs, and then we're going to give you guys a few minutes while we pull the chairs away and let these guys play us out with a couple more songs.
anybody watching. Hi, thank you.
Shout out to my family and kids and my cousin watching.
Are your kids watching, do you think?
No, they're sleeping.
They're in bed. You
Wait.
better be in bed.
They go to bed at 7.
I asked Brooke, do you want the link? And she's like, if you really want me to watch
And my wife.
it, I'm not going to actually watch it. And I was like, all right, I won't send it to you.
My-
Don't worry.
my wife's-
watching whatever you're watching, The Crown.
My wife's brutally honest. I'll be like, did you watch it tonight? She'll be like, no. Okay, did you try? Did you even see for a second? And she's like, no. She goes, I know what you do.
She doesn't have to watch a live stream to watch me be a big idiot.
True. Realistically, anybody watching, big thank you. Like, this is
Hey, yo.
some people are getting ready to go to sleep and go to their jobs. So thank
I've
you.
said it before. It's hard to watch a whole live stream and to even podcasts, for example, unless they're extremely engaging, something that you know the character or you know the conversation, like the topic. They're hard to get through a whole thing. So a live stream, you got to be a music head or have absolutely no life to be watching. No, it's like I said, doing the Metal Mondays not only is cathartic to me and gives bands a chance to come and play live, but it literally gives people at home who haven't seen a live band play. Sure, you're not out at the venue, but you are literally seeing bands playing live, just itching to tickle your ears in person, and that will happen down the road, mark my words. So with that said, thank you, Frank Dukes. It's been great having you out, chatting with you, and play us out with a few more songs. And whenever we can have you guys back for a live show, that's definitely something we're looking for. So go grab a smoke, grab something to eat, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
One day on, you hold a smoking gun. You're telling me to calm down. You're telling me to calm down. Why do you calm down? Oh my God! Look what you become. You built a candy house. You tried to eat the trial. They take the iron bones from the fire. And it's no surprise that it's just your size. They want to see you dance till you die, and they cry, burn the witch, burn, burn the witch. Oh, I want your fucking fairy tale ending. And I think our love is more than murder, suicide, than a ride in the sunset. This ain't no happy ever after. Wow, no. Like if this was a fairy tale and you're the princess locked up in the tower with the long hair, then why is there a mob with a pitchfork at the bottom of the stairs? Crying, burn the witch. Get the hell out of here, run for your life. Louder than thunder and faster than light. It's a galactic mechanical animal landed on planet on Saturday night. This is not a test. The machines have taken the west. Well, I must confess, and it won't be long until they take it. The rest, artificial intelligence wired to go, wait for the metal and fire at will, like something out of a horrible film. We want the invasion of Hollywood. Lights, camera, violence. Lights, camera, violence. Oh God, God, God. The director is covered in blood. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. This is the end of the world. Burn that holy house. Smoke those liars out. Let's say if they know how. Pray a fire out. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. This is the end of the world. Bullets and lasers and nuclear bombs. Nothing is working and no one is calm. And we're doing enough to write down what we're wrong. And the war with the robots and how they hide. When are they at? One. When are they at? One. And are they at? One. When are they at? One. When are they at? One. We only had one.
That was Voltang again. We are doing Voltang in between tonight. That was Electric Boogaloo. Welcome back to Metal Mondays. We are here with Frank Dukes. They're going to give it to us one more time, play a few more songs here on Metal Mondays. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you are just tuned in, you can catch us every Monday night doing some sort of Metal Mondays, whether I'm at home or whether we're here at Onyx Nightclub. You can find us at onyxnightclubguelph.com. Once again, Frank Dukes.
You're still by my side. Now I lost my best friend who just gave away. That ticket bomb finally gave up within her veins, and you rushed to my side. By your side. You found me. I got a funny feeling this'll never change. It's all in the words I fail to express. Say it out loud. Could do this without having you around. I know it's selfish, but I understand those sacrifices that you make on weekends and most weeknights to add fulfillment to my life. And when I can thank you enough, thank you enough. You found me. Now the years are 6-foot trench, the neighbors staring in. Is this a financial stress test? Or is this gone to shit, but you're still by my side? House you didn't buy and a place you don't call home. You gave it all to Abby and you still got me too old, so I stand by your side. By your side. You found me. I got a funny feeling this'll never change. It's all in the words I failed to express. Say it out loud. Couldn't do this without having you around. I know it's selfish, but I understand those sacrifices that you make on weekends and most weeknights to add fulfillment to my life. And when I can take you enough, thank you enough. You found me. You leave the porch light on so I find my way home. What's the sign when I am coming from the road? You leave the porch light on so I find my way home. What's the sign when I am coming from the road? You leave the porch light on so I find my way home. A simple sign when I am coming from the road. When I can thank you enough. Never giving up, no, never stop. Never want to stop, so I stand by your side. By your side. You ground me.
All right, we got one more. This is called 1838. It's off our new record. If you want to buy it, ThousandIslandsRecords.com. You'll find it on there. Buy from Thousand Islands.
Thanks, everybody. My lack of action. No idea the consequences back. Thought I would have many more years left. Couldn't make your race just like that. Now we're looking at those artifacts I've scattered around this house. Cause to remind me that I can see you around. I'll list all those things that I've collected with your name. When memories know you are safe, they remain just what someone dreamt. Do I honor this and make you proud? I'm nothing like that which came before me. Conscious of more than just myself. Now I'm looking at those artifacts I've scattered around this house. Constant reminders that I can keep you around. What were those watches round and round? The rhythm keeps me sane. When memories know
Frank Dukes, ladies and gentlemen. Was it as good for Frank Dukes as it was for all of us out there in TV and the interweb land, I guess?
I got
Well,
happy.
I just realized we're not on TV. We're on the interweb. Smart TV, yes, because it's watching us all. Anyway,
Phone.
that was a great performance, a great interview. Thank you, Frank Dukes, for coming out. They've been Frank Dukes. I've been Uncle Rick. We are here at Onyx Nightclub in Guelph. One thing I do want to point out is that you may have recently seen us posting for Chronic Christmas, which is still absolutely 1,000,000% a thing. Jupiter Hollow, Inhalen, a Van Halen tribute band with the Roth years, and Worker and Parasite, Blaze Band. And the great thing about that is that all three bands, it will be a live show, COVID pending, which right now we're code orange, I understand, in Guelph. If it gets code red, it may end up just being live streamed, but that show will still go on. It will still be pumped out over the web for everybody to hear. We are hoping it's going to be live. Things don't get shut down, so everybody be safe out there. Right now, tickets have been kind of put on hold because what's the sense of buying tickets and then having to refund your money when we know something is up? So right now, we're hanging in there. Give us a week or two. We'll be back with details. And yeah, Metal Mondays, trying to make Mondays better, one show at a time. Thank you for joining in. Frank Dukes, Onyx Nightclub, Uncle Rick, Chronic Noise, Gain Media, everything. Sound events, fucking Mike there with the big smile and stash he's got. Beautiful people. Nikki Clark, thanks for coming out. Anyway, Metal Mondays, Uncle Rick, peace.
Ring of fire.